Cherie Hansen here. I'm forming this YouTube video that's coming from my blog, which is close to 600 written entries so far. You can come to my blog at cheriehansen.com to see the written version. This one is called, So What the Flip Does Stuck Mean? I open my eyes and my body comes back to me. First, I feel those parts of my physical parameters that are under one of my hands. My chest is moving with air, or I feel my thigh expand to the two surfaces of hand and leg touching. I arrive gradually, piece by piece, until I leave behind the dream of a man offering me a stick he bought for $100,000. In the summer, about this time of rebirth, I will hear birds or feel the breeze from my window. But now, in the grumpy November, the call is to throw back the covers and look at another groggy day. And it is, after all, my meditation time, after I offer my prayer or a hope or a ritual of gratitude, that I finally get up. Absolutely inevitable is the scanning of my mind. It moves like a drone over the landscape of time. Yesterday, did I do well? Yesterday, did I keep my promises to myself? The mind drone flies over all of yesterday's activities to assess the failures, the bad choices, the old landscapes of disappointment and disillusion, mostly with myself. There you go again, I dialogue to me. You walk 17,000 steps, spread joy to at least 4 people who thank you for help, finish painting your hallway, and worked out with weights. But inevitably, I return to the docking station of stuck. My mind has a habit of seeing me as stuck. How lightningly quick I am to list off all of the ways I am less than I thought I could be, or what others have expected from me. My weight is always an issue. It comes from my mother's competition with me in the circus ring of being the female in our nuclear ring. She thought of me as her competition, only she could walk the fashion runway and collect admiring compliments wherever she appeared in a social setting. I had to be repressed. And food, oh yes, food. She kept pushing pie and cake and pop at me. She wanted me to fatten up so as no one would ever have an eye for me, and they would never take their eyes off of her size 2 body and her apricot hair to look at her daughter. So each day I weigh myself and automatically criticize myself. You are stuck, I say. I'm wearing a size 4. I whisper jackal into my own ear that I could lose 4 more pounds. When my weight goes up 3 pounds, I need to choke off the food of whatever I've been eating and reassess, choke off the flood of self-hating thoughts. Why are you putting on weight? You are out of control. You ate too much or exercised too little. You failed yourself and you are stuck. I hear the voice. There are so many ways in which my mind is stuck in seeing me as stuck that it is almost impossible to separate them out. The mind habit of needing some sudden Academy Award trophy handed to me from a panel of judges in order to see that I am in fact making progress is pretty well entrenched and impossible to live. What I do know is that every thought, every action comes from habits. I have a habit of not seeing myself as dynamic and capable of taking big steps successfully. And because I know that sense of paralysis is ultimately destructive, I am in the process of learning to trust more myself, the universe. I trust that each small action will lead to something. I trust that being focused on decisions will shift my sense of self-improvement. I know I will never be a snowboarder dropped off by a helicopter cutting edges and fresh snow down a mountainside. There is no daredevil within me in this lifetime. But I also know that I can reassure myself in my mental two-hander play, just me and me at a long table with a single light overhead. The scene is dimly lit, but the sound is remarkable. Knowing that growth is not always spectacular helps me. I'm fairly sure that I am not stuck. That sense of entrapment is simply a habit. It isn't a monkey on my back, it's a gorilla. But I am moving and building muscle in all possible approaches to life. I can carry that weight. Returning to my cheerleader self, I yell out, "You got this, chickie! You got this!"